Hey, what's up, everybody? Still right there, Five here. Bring you a commentary. Just wanted to say, Nintendo. Like, if you haven't been living under a rock for like pretty much since the Nintendo Wii U came out, you probably noticed that the Wii U has just been getting like dogged on and stuff, and they had a year head start, and just I really don't know what Nintendo is doing with their console. I'm just gonna go over a few things, just hear my thoughts and opinions on what I think Nintendo is doing and why they're doing this and what they could probably, you know, change to improve and better make their company because they kind of sucking at just a wee bit there, but yeah, first of all, just recently was the thing about how they originally they banned Super Smash Brothers Melee from being streamed at Evo, this like really big fighting tournament thing. They originally banned that from being streamed, but they eventually changed it. And now they can stream it. Don't know why they even bothered doing it, banning it in the first place, but oh well. Then there was a whole thing where they pissed off the Let's Play people by putting claims or whatever ads on the Let's Players videos of a certain length of like Nintendo games. I think they kind of lifted that. It took them like a month or so before they lifted that, but just the fact that they did it in the first place for whatever reason randomly is just Nintendo's been doing some weird stuff, like just company wise and with the console itself. Like, you think about it, the Wii U is like behind in all the next gen talk. Like, usually when you hear people talk about the console wars and all that stuff, it's always either the Xbox One versus it's always the Xbox One versus PS4, and which console will win. It's between the Xbox One and the PS4, and then the Wii U is just like over there in the corner. No one's like talking about it. It's just sitting there watching. I mean, the thing came out like a whole year ahead of the PS4 and the Xbox One. And it gave Nintendo a lot of potential, a lot of room to, make the console stand out. But unfortunately, it's like they didn't do much with it. Like they had an entire year head start. They didn't do much. I don't understand why they didn't take advantage of releasing a whole another year. And then they probably should have waited, in my opinion. But I'll get to that in a minute. Also, they really need to get some new IPs. Like really, the main things that are coming out on the Wii U are just more Mario-like titles and Zelda games. Like I don't think they've had a new Zelda come out for the Wii U yet, but it's mainly just been like Mario and the Luigi game. I can't remember what it was called. It's like New Super Luigi U or something. It's pretty much that most recent Mario Brothers game, except instead of Mario in it, it's just Luigi's skin. Like they put a couple new things in it, but really, what else can you change other than the skin? It's just basically the same exact game, except it's just Luigi. You're playing as Luigi now instead of Mario. Yeah, there's a few minor differences, but they're not big enough to make it to constitute as like a whole new complete game. I just don't really understand with that. Understand that. And like I said earlier about how they pretty much should have waited, like I said, they didn't do anything when they had like the whole year head start. And then if you watch Nintendo's Nintendo Direct thing like around E3, then you notice that like the majority of the good games that people wanted the system for don't even come out until next year. Like the new Mario Brothers game, that don't come out till next year. Then there was a couple other games on Evo. I can't remember. I'd have to look up the list again, but just a couple other games on there that are really good games. I think the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD remake, which looks beautiful by the way. I've seen screenshots, saw that game in action. That looks amazing. I don't think that comes out till next year either. It's like you watch Nintendo's Direct and then you realize like all the good games that people wanted the system for don't even come out till next year. Like, and they didn't do much this year except get this Mario after Mario games and then terrible ports. Well, they weren't terrible. They just weren't exact. There was no point in playing ports of like older games that have been out on the Xbox and the PS3 a whole year now. Like the Batman Arkham City and then Deus Ex. Like there's really no reason to get those games on the Wii U. If you haven't played them, you've already played them by now on the either the PS3 or the Xbox. And if you haven't, then you're probably not going to. And there's really no incentive to get it on the Wii U. It's just really all it is added like things for the gamepad, and that's not really a good enough thing to justify getting it on the Wii U. It's not really a thing. Games like that don't really, move consoles and all that. And then, and like I said, another thing about that, they're also losing the really big games and getting, poor rehashes. Like I said about Deus Ex and then Batman Arkham City. They're getting those games that people played already, and they're losing the big games. Like I think it was EA said they weren't going to put any sports games on the Wii U. I don't think the Wii U is getting Grand Theft Auto 5, which is going to hurt the console a whole lot because the PS3, Xbox, and PC, pretty much every console is getting it except the Wii U. And other big games, like I can't think of any right now, but I'll probably list them on the screen or something. Pretty much like the big games that people are most definitely going to play, they're getting it on other consoles and not the Wii U because the Wii U is not getting them. Like pretty much people like they have either their 360 or their PS3 or both those two as like a primary console, and then the Wii U is just like a secondary thing to play, like the Mario or something because you can't play it anywhere else. Also, speaking about like the lack of the good games that we use getting, I also need to they also need to make more different types of games. Like of course everyone loves Mario and Zelda, and they're gonna buy those games on the Wii U, but they need other games. Like remember back on like the N64 and then the NES, like they had all these great games, like Star Fox and different new IPs. They were always coming out, with new IPs. They had Donkey Kongs and the Mario's and the Zeldas, but they're always coming out with new games and not just those same ones on like the Nintendo 64 and the NES. What happened to those? Now all the Wii U has, like I said, just like Mario and Zelda clones and stuff. Just keep making those games, and they're not coming out with anything new like they did back on the N64 and the NES. Like back when it was just between the PS1 and the N64 to worry about. But now you got the PS4 with Sony, and then you got Microsoft with Xbox One, and then Nintendo. It's like it's a bigger market. It's more people, more gamers, and more people are into gaming and stuff. And there's like more competition, all that. Nintendo's got to like get with the times and play catch up really bad. Like Nintendo is like way behind in the gaming in the department for console games. Like they got the handheld market a lot. Like when it comes to handhelds, Nintendo pretty much owns that market. But when it comes to consoles, they're really lacking. And I'm not bashing Nintendo. I have nothing against Nintendo. I like Nintendo. The gaming industry wouldn't be what it is today if it weren't for the things Nintendo does. It's just they're like messing up or whatever. They're like it's like they're too. It's like they've lost their core audiences. Like the core like the target audience they had back in the day with like the N64 and the NES. They like pretty much lost those guys. Like I've seen comments on videos of people saying they're the biggest Nintendo fans. That some of these people they're the biggest Nintendo fans. They have like pretty much every NES game or whatever. They grew up with Nintendo like many people did. They love Nintendo, but even they agree that Nintendo really needs to like shape up and do something in order to play catch up and catch up and try to at least get in the same ballpark as the Xbox One and the PS4 because like I said the Wii U had an entire year head start on them, and they're the furthest behind. Like how do you have your console be out an entire year before your competitors even officially announce all the stuff for their console, and yet you're the furthest behind? Like the 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 PS4 and the Xbox One, just recently got announced and talked about, at E3, and that they're the more talked about and more concerned about consoles than the Wii U, and that came out an entire year before. If you've probably seen this video going around, see people talk about it, but Adam Sessler from X Play, man, I miss X Play, but anyway, about Adam Sessler from X Play. He was interviewed about Nintendo and all that stuff, and he was saying about how he thinks that Nintendo should really like actually fire Reggie Fils-Aimé and Iwata, and I agree with them. Just to get fresh minds and fresh thinking in there because Iwata and Reggie, it seems like they're stuck in the past when it was just mainly Nintendo back in the day, and then Sony, so it was just those two to compete against each other. But now you got Microsoft, and like there's more people interested in gaming, there's more gamers out there and stuff. It's just it's not the same as it was back when Nintendo was top dog. You know, like they're stuck. Reggie and Iwata are stuck in the past where like Nintendo's still top dog and people will buy the stuff just because it's Nintendo. But like I said, I'm not hating on Nintendo. It's true though. They really need to like get some new fresh management in there that can, you know, create some better marketing and stuff for the Wii U. Cause think about it. Just sit there and think about it for a second. When was the last time you saw an advertisement for the Wii U? Yes, for like maybe like a Sonic game or the Nintendo DS, but I'm talking about like the Wii U itself, like the actual console itself. When was the last time you actually physically saw a TV commercial or even an ad on the internet about like the Wii U console itself? When was the last time you saw something like that? Yeah, I think that's pretty much my thoughts about Nintendo and stuff. They really basically to sum it up, they need to get more games. I know the third party is not gonna support. They need to figure out a way to get third party support for their console a lot better. Because you know, like I said, on the Nintendo 64 and NES, they had like an entire library, a whole new different games and new IPs only on those Nintendo's consoles. And now they don't have very many new IPs yet. The games that people mostly want don't come out till next year. They're getting rehashes that were already on consoles a whole year before that, and not really giving you an incentive to even go play them on the Wii U, except for the gamepad gimmick that most people aren't interested in. And then you know the one of the actual new IPs was Zombie U. That game was trash. Like I hear stories of dudes rage quitting Zombie U and never playing the Wii U ever again. Like it's that bad. The company that made the Zombie U even said that the game did so poorly that there's no possible way they're ever gonna there's no possible way they're gonna make a sequel for it. Like it did that poorly in sales. It's just like Nintendo really does. Like I agree. Like I said, I agree with Adam Sessler. Nintendo really does need to fire Reggie Fils-Aimé and Iwata and get some new people in there. So maybe they can get some fresh marketing, some fresh ideas, and thinking about how to better market the Wii U and actually try to get some third-party support for it. And maybe they can do something to keep from losing all the big hitter titles that are be coming out for the PS3 and the 360, like Grand Theft Auto. Also, one of the things, you know, like they have the Wii U has going for is, you know, how like it's in HD and improved graphics and stuff. Because you know the original Wii was just standard definition. All the while, this whole other, like pretty much the whole other time, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 were already, you know, HD and all that stuff since they came out. And then the Wii U came out. And that's really one of like the features of it is that um in HD, but really, this not really that big of a deal for us because you know if you have a PS3 or S360, you've been playing HD games pretty much since this generation started. So that's kind of like a thing that Nintendo's losing out on. They're kind of late for like the HD stuff. They're late on a lot of things, honestly. But like I said, I'm not bashing Nintendo. I like Nintendo. We wouldn't have games the way they are without Nintendo. It's just that they're slacking really bad, and they need to figure out a way to play catch up before it's because their console's already getting dogged on. Even the hardcore Wii Nintendo fans are even dogging on it. Like their fan base feels what is it? Their fan base feels like they've been forgotten and abandoned, pretty much. Like when you think about it, it's like who is the actual target audience for Nintendo anymore? Like just think about it. Who you think is like the actual target audience for Nintendo for the Wii U? Like honestly, but yeah, they need to get some new management, figure out a way to get some more new original IPs and not just Mario and Zelda. Like yeah, Mario and Zelda is good, but you get tired out of it after a while. It's just the same milk franchise. They need to come up with something different. Yeah, basically, I feel like the Wii U was rushed. Honestly, if all they had a year head start, didn't do anything with it, and then most of the games that people wanted for, like the Smash Brothers and all that stuff, don't come out till next year. They honestly should have just waited. Really shouldn't have launched the Wii U this early if they weren't gonna do anything with it, and they would have been better off just waiting. Honestly, they should just kept the original Wii, and would have been better off and in not in as worse shape if they had just waited until next year to launch it alongside with the other consoles. Because that's pretty much what's happened. The Wii U hasn't even came out for some people. Like the real casual gamers think the Wii U is just an attachment for the original Wii. Like some people honestly don't think it's its own console. So yeah, that's why I said they need to do better marketing and all that stuff. But basically that's pretty much my opinions on Nintendo. They kind of fucking up. They kind of goofing over there real quick. They kind of need to sit back and think about exactly what they need to do to play catch up, which they shouldn't have to do because their console came out an entire year before the PS4 and 360, before the PS4 and the Xbox One were even announced. But yeah, that's pretty much my opinions on Nintendo. You guys can leave some comments down in the comment section about what you guys think. Do you guys think the Wii U is rushed? You think they need to fire you, Whaddya and Reggie? And just whatever opinions you guys want to leave in the comments, just go ahead and leave them down there. I encourage you to do it. But I'm Stan right there, 5, and I'm out. Please don't forget to leave a rating, comment, subscribe. Peace.